Hey everybody, how's it going? My name's Joe. Welcome back to SNES Life. This is recap number 127, where we quickly cover the 5 last games we played. Let's get started. First up, Jim Lee's Wildcats Covert Action Teams. This is a single player action beat 'em up. It feels like a beat 'em up. It looks like a beat 'em up. It's similar to oh my god, I can't remember the name of it now. Oh, it felt a lot like the one we played one ages ago that was really good actually, where you were like a boxer and you had boxing gloves. You were like a space guy, but it was a single player beat 'em up. This felt a lot like that. There's 3 different characters you play as throughout the game. You don't get to pick; it's just based on the level you're in. They each have different abilities and powers and moves. The enemy variety is a little lacking. The backgrounds are nice looking. It's definitely got a dash of jank in it in a number of spaces. Part of it almost broke me. There's a guy who can climb walls, but it doesn't explain to you at all in the manual how to climb a freaking wall. And it took me a hot minute to figure it out. And even then, I couldn't quite get it right. Like, I managed to progress, but it wasn't easy. I thought the visuals were good, the music and sound was okay, and the controls were good enough. It was an enjoyable beat 'em up. I did have fun. I feel like so the Wildcats had like 5 characters on the team, but you could only play 3 of them, and there was no 2 player. Both of those would have made it a great game. As it is, it was just an okay game. I gave it a thumbs up. It was fun. I did enjoy my hour with it, and I think especially if you're familiar with the comic books, it probably would have been right up, right up an alley of a fan. So for the average person, it's fairly cheap. I think it's worth playing if you like beat 'em ups. I gave it a thumbs up. Next up, Super Turrican 2. I didn't care for Super Turrican 1, frankly. And this didn't do a lot better. So Super Turrican 1, the movement felt really off and just didn't. The controls I felt like had a lot of issues. This one they fixed. I felt like the regular movement, but the robot arm thing was really, really annoying to like try to move around. Other than that, it's a very Contra-esque feeling game. To the point where like some of your guns, like the laser beam I'm shooting right here, I thought was really strong. Uh, and then you end up with like spread shots, which aren't as good as you want it to be, and homing bouncy ball. Too many weapons, and there's no. A lot of the times, it felt very, very hard to avoid changing weapons. Kind of like Castlevania. You're whipping away, and then you hit a candle, and you accidentally lose your cross for an axe or something. You're like, God damn it. And this was very much felt the same way. Like, you constantly didn't mean to grab a new weapon, but you did, and it changed, and you can't drop it and revert back, and it really hurts it. The visuals were okay. The backgrounds looked nice. The enemies were meh. The guns is clearly where they put a lot of effort into this, in my opinion. Music and the controls, for the most part, were fine. The robotic bionic commando arm thing really pissed me off something fierce at some stage, though. So I gave this one a thumbs down. I didn't enjoy Turrican 1. I didn't enjoy Turrican 2. And I know a lot of people love the Turrican series. I'm just not one of them. Give me Contra any day of the week. I think it looks better, plays better. it's a personal opinion, you know? But yeah, thumbs down on that. Next up, NBA Give and Go. This is a 5-on-5 NBA basketball game. Very arcade style. Interesting in that it's got the vertical court instead of the horizontal NBA Jam style court. Also being 5 players is different. The sprites in this looked really good. They had this weird Mode 7 jank where the scaling as you went up and down the court where some of the guys would like shrink, but the guy in the frame in front of him would still be far enough forward. He'd look like a giant, and the guy that went back like dropped down to like half his size, and it was just kind of funny looking. I didn't care for the vertical look here, especially because my goal was at this end. So when I drove down court, and you could see the whole thing. But when I had to come back to defend, it's following the guy with the ball, who is at the edge of the screen. So everybody back further than that, I can't see. I can't identify where dudes are, where they need to be. It made it very, very hard to defend. That said, I still did enjoy myself. For a 5-on-5 game, I think they put a lot of effort into it, and I had fun. I gave it a thumbs up, but 5-on-5 arcade style, like I've given other NBA or other basketball games similar thumbs up as well, and I would choose those, I think, over this one. But this was still a fun enough game that like I wouldn't shit on you for wanting this one. I liked it. NBA giving up, give and go. Next up, Scooby-Doo Mystery. This had 2 releases. It had Scooby-Doo Mystery for the Super Nintendo and Scooby-Doo for the Sega Genesis. 2 different games. Sega Genesis was a legitimate point-and-click adventure, like with a menu of verbs at the bottom where it's like pick up, put down, open, close, whatever. This one had a similar structure-ish, but it was more like a platformer, which is weird. So you had health and lives, and you could die and get a game over. Ooh, pardon me. It's kind of late. It was kind of neat, though. So you go around and you find clues, and you bring those clues to Velma, and Velma's like, I figured out who it is. Go talk to Fred. And Fred's like, let's figure out how to trap him. Here, go find me these things so we can make a trap. And then you go find those things. You bring them back to Fred, and then you go find the bad guy and get him to chase you, and he chases you into the trap. And then you unmask him, and then you move on. There's like 4 different mysteries here to solve. And this was not bad. Some of the there is a little bit of platforming, which feels goofy and completely unnecessary. The Sega Genesis version is probably better just for being a legitimate point-and-click adventure without the health bars or the deaths or the platforming. But this was functional, and I gave this a thumbs up. I thought this was pretty nice to see on the Super Nintendo. I would enjoy more games kind of with a similar structure, you know? I think good for it. Next up, Jimmy Houston's Bass Tournament U.S.A. Fishing games are boring on the Super Nintendo. I don't understand. I was about to say fishing video games are boring entirely, but then I remembered that with the Dreamcast, they fixed that with Sega Bass and marine fishing. This is... I mean, you saw the boat driving segment's pretty much similar to every other fishing game on the Super Nintendo. And then this segment, there's 2 different ways you get a fishing game. So you either have the black bass style where it shows the lure go out over the water and then you reel it back in and you're doing a top down. So you can see the fish moving around. Or you get this type of screen where you throw it out and you reel it in and you can't see shit. Which is actually arguably the more realistic version of fishing because you can't see anything, you're just trying to guess. But where this was different from every other fishing game I've played, usually I play those other fishing games for half an hour, 45 minutes, and I get bored because if I'm lucky, I've caught like 2 fish. And whether that's a fault of the game or if it's a fault of me as a player not figuring out the algorithms or the lure for this weather versus this depth versus this whatever, however minutia you want to put into it. I probably caught 15 fish in 30 minutes. So this game actually got its full time period with me, my full hour. And I actually enjoyed myself. So, I don't think fishing games are worth playing in general on the Super Nintendo. But, if you were going to pick one, I would pick this one. I gave it a thumbs up. Just on because at this point we're like 630 some odd games into the Super Nintendo library. I doubt that we're going to see another fishing game. And this is arguably, in my opinion, the best fishing game on the Super Nintendo. So take that for what it is. Am I running out to buy this game and keep it forever? No. Should you? Probably not. But it was a functional, entertaining time that I had with it. So, yeah, it is what it is. But that's it. 4 thumbs up. out of 5 is not a bad turnaround for a set of games for me on here. Very happy, actually. But that's it. Recap 127, guys. Thank you all very much for everybody who still keeps up with these. We're coming down to it, man. Like I said, 630-ish games into the library out of 720 released in the U.S. So, I mean, if I stick to it, I may actually finish this series by the end of next year, which would be amazing. Uh, yeah, how exciting that would be. Be done. But that's it, everybody. Thank you very much for watching and sticking with the channels here, and we'll see you guys later. Have a good one.